Hello and welcome to another episode of the Yascast with me, your host Yaseen, and my honored guest Gamer. Hi, Gamer.
So Yaseen, you know the Spice Girls?
The Spice Girls.
Yes, are
Yeah,
you
what about them?
familiar with the Spice Girls?
I
Okay.
am familiar with the Spice Girls. I'm British, of course.
All right, okay. I'm not British and I'm not very familiar with them, but I have a conspiracy theory to share with you. How many Spice Girls are there?
I think there's like 5, right?
No, wrong. There are
No.
6 of them, but the 6th one is never seen. You might know Spice Girls, Scary Spice, Sporty
Yes.
Spice, Baby
Scary,
Spice,
sporty,
Ginger
baby,
Spice, Posh
gingy,
Spice,
posh.
but you do not know Similar Spice.
Similar Spice?
Similar Spice. How do you think they assemble all 5 Spice Girls at every single show and recording studio without fail? They don't. What happens when they get sick, injured, one of them can't make it? Similar Spice is there. Similar Spice will just fill it in. You never know. You never notice. She just looks like and sounds like every other Spice Girl. And you never notice.
So you're saying there's a 6th Spice Girl that only exists as a backup measure,
For every other Spice Girl.
and she can like mold into the appropriate one.
It's the best kept secret of the industry, baby.
Well, this is episode 8. Put
that into your heads, people. Similar Spice. There's a reason why nobody speaks out, and that's because Similar Spice is paid 5 times the average of a Spice Girl, because she is all 5 Spice Girls.
Right. Okay, that makes sense. She's paid as much as the other Spice Girls combined to be all of them. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, that's Yeah. Okay. This is Gamer, who is at gamer.bungle.online. You know, every so often I accidentally, when I try and tag in something, I accidentally put gamer at Bungie.online.
Oh God, no!
And I'm like, why is it not working? And I'm like, oh yeah, it's not Bungie. It's Bungle.
I've never played Destiny 2. I swear.
You never played Destiny? Oh, okay.
I played its direct competitor, Warframe, instead.
I played both Destiny games. They're fine. I played the first one, and I played the second one, and like they're fine games. I mean, I think as they moved from a whatever the fuck it was to a live service game, it's kind of gone downhill, as all live service games do. I think Destiny was like the first one that kind of popularized. I mean, obviously there was live service games before Destiny, but Destiny popularized the trend of having a like standalone game that you purchase one time and then fill it with DLC that you gotta pay extra for, and then eventually move to a free to play model, and then just kind of become whatever Destiny 2 is right now. Like, there'll never be a Destiny 3 ever, because Destiny 2 is just way too lucrative. And I feel like all the DLC is the story that Destiny 3 would have become. Because when I played Destiny 2 originally, back when it was a game you had to buy, it was a pretty interesting story, and the same is true of the original Destiny game. So I'm kind of curious as to, because I've only played up to the Forsaken, and then I kind of got bored with it. But I presume they've added like loads of DLC and stuff on top to bolt. And I think it's funny to me how they can just like bolt extra bits of story on top. Like it's like imagine if you were reading a book, right? And as the book progresses, you kind of got extra bits bolted on instead of just going into a completely new. Just appear at the bottom, like
the pages just appear at the back.
Like there's nothing wrong with like volumes of books, right? But like imagine if you're reading just like a book and like the story kind of just gets bolted on at the end as you're reading.
You're like sleeping in the middle of the night and your bookshelf collapses one day and you realize, oh, the book got an update and it squeezed out one layer of the shelf.
It just collapses. Yeah.
It's just collapsed. I mean, it's kind of on you for buying that really shitty Chinese bookshelf, but then, like, But yeah, Warframe does something very similar, but I don't know. Every time Warframe does something, and the community is like, "Oh my god, digital extremes! Thank you." This latest update, Whispers in the Walls. I love bootleg Jotaro. I love old Twink. I'm trying to be very not spoilery for the people who haven't played Whispers in the Walls. I love the novel adaptation of Arcane Energize. Only Warframe players will get that. I love you crashing the market. And then like Destiny gets an update, and all
like
I hear is
everyone
Bungie.
hates
What the
Bungie
fuck?
for updating Destiny. I guess probably because I mean, when did Destiny 2 come out? Let's see. Destiny 2 release date. Holy shit, dude! That game came out in 2017. That's like 6 years of constant like DLC and story updates and mechanics and nerfing and whatever.
Yeah. I had to really quickly look up Warframe's release date, and it's like 2013. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, when Warframe was 2013, right?
Yeah, Warframe's 2013, but then like 2013 Warframe and current day Warframe
of course.
are different beasts altogether. It's just like the movement's different. The gameplay's still a horde shooter, but like the scale is different. And of course you have this story about I can't explain what happened in the story, either without spoiling people or without making any sense.
I've heard that Warframe is a much more the community in Warframe is a lot more chill and welcoming as opposed to Destiny, which I guess makes sense because Destiny is like a really like in terms of the gameplay. I mean, as from my understanding of the difference between two games is that while both games are like serious in terms of plot and story and whatever, people who play Destiny like hardcore take it a lot more like sweaty, whereas people who play Warframe hardcore are still they aren't sweaty.
They aren't sweaty at all. I'm gonna tell you this. I'm gonna tell you this right now. The people who play Warframe hardcore, quote unquote, they grab Wukong, who is a Warframe whose abilities are: I will shoot for you. I will shoot for you. Don't get hit. Don't die. Useless. Those are your 4 abilities. And your passive is if you die, no, you didn't. These serious players stay in missions and just kind of are there. They're just kind of there, and I'm like working my literal best ass in the game off to like play the damn game the way it's made. Like I'm getting headshots, charging up my rifle because it gets charged up by headshots, and I'm trying to get it done. And it's like these guys are just like being chilling in the background, and I'm just like, okay, yeah, sure, guys. And like when we go to finally do the objective, they're like off doing something else. And I'm like, is this some sort of founder legendary tier fucking 17 years in the game bullshit that I'm too new to understand, even though I have like 9,000 hours in this game or whatever the fuck.
Right,
it's not
right,
that
yeah,
it's 900.
I mean,
you know,
900 is still pretty good. I think like I think what is it, like an expert is someone who has like 10,000 hours in a particular task. So you're about like one like what like 10% away there.
I'm a tenth of an expert on Warframe.
I don't have 1,000 hours in like I don't think I have like 1,000
part of my
hours in
name.
anything. I think the longest I've ever played a video game is probably like Burnout Free Takedown. And that's like the only video game I've ever like 100%ed like ever in my life. Like that's it, like I have like every single. I think I have like everything. Actually, no, maybe not 100%, but I think I have like everything. Bar like by the time, because I got it on PS2, and me and my brother, we 100%ed it. I think there's only like one challenge that we got a silver in. But like everything else, we like a gold or whatever. So that's the only video game I've ever like 100% in my entire life. And I think on that we spent like at least like 200 hours on that, just doing everything. But it was such a fun game anyway. They don't make video games like that anymore. Like I was thinking about this earlier, how very few like big budget games of the past like few years are not iconic. The only one I can really think of is like Cyberpunk, but that's only because of the controversies surrounding such a game, but also because it's the art style is unique, and also it's a brand new IP. So I think because of that, it makes it different in comparison to everything else, which is a derivative, a licensed product, or the next one in like a long sequel. Like, and it's not like being a sequel isn't like a key to being iconic. Like I said, Burnout 3 is an iconic game, and so is Revenge. And even stuff like Forza Motorsport 4, for example, that's considered to be the peak of the series. And Gran Turismo, I think 3 or was it 4? Either 3 or 4 is considered like the pinnacle of the series. And like, and yeah, compare those games to Forza Motorsport, which came out this year, a couple of months ago, and GT7, which came out last year, I think. And both those games were like years and years in the making, and neither of them, in my eyes, are like iconic. Like I will forget about them because none of them have the kind of soul or heart that their predecessors did. I compare like Modern Warfare 3, which came out like last month or something, and like that yeah.
Oh yeah, and it
Well,
gets
yeah.
outsold by
First it
Lethal
got outclassed by
Company.
Lethal Company, right? But also like it just absolutely fucking sucks. Okay, my cousin came around last weekend. So this week, last weekend. He was going to the airport, and I live close to the airport, so he stayed over, and he brought his copy of Modern Warfare 3 on disc. So he saw it on my Xbox, and I thought, okay, well, he's installed it, he's left the disc here. I'll give like the first mission like a go, the campaign, and I was like, wow, this is awful. This is probably one of the worst video games I've ever played. And and it is just I cannot
Oh my
explain to you
God.
how awful the campaign. It feels like this was supposed to be like DLC or something, but like worse. It's like it's like it's like I put no effort into the campaign. This is a full price game. This is
And
like a
how much is this? Is it like a $60, $80?
60 quid game, and
See, here's the thing, right?
right, sure.
I live like third world country regional pricing, and like for Call of Duty, I would probably pay like $30 converted, and I'm like, maybe for $30 is acceptable, but I cannot imagine paying the full fat $60 for that.
Yeah,
shit, man.
I'm kind of.
It's just.
I mean, look, I played it for free, and I want a refund. Okay?
You took my time away. Give that shit back.
Yeah, exactly.
How
Yeah.
long?
Like, and then you compare this to the campaign in the original Modern Warfare series, which I played way back. Call of Duty is a militaristic shooter. It is totally like U.S. Army propaganda, or whatever.
Mhm.
But it doesn't take away from the fact that the campaigns were pretty decent as far as video games go. The story is pretty solid. The characters are good, and they were iconic, I suppose, in that sense, in the context they appeared in. Yeah, a decade and a bit of game development under their belt and graphical improvements or whatever. It's like, well, this just sucks. In my opinion, in the past couple of years, there are really very few AAA games, first party games, that are iconic, that will live in memory for a good reason. Starfield, that just sucked. I played that. Like the main traversal mechanism in Starfield is fast travel. Okay, because walking gets you nowhere.
Oh my
right?
God. Yeah, I keep seeing shit about Starfield, and I'm like, I look at the gameplay and I'm like, I've seen this before. This is just Skyrim. And I'm like,
yeah.
And I've never played Skyrim. Like, whatever, sue me. I've never played Skyrim. Well, boohoo. But like, I look at that. I see gameplay of Skyrim from Osmosis or whatever. I see gameplay of Starfield. This is the same shit.
It's the same shit.
Skyrim in space. Like, yeah, you like dusted off the fantasy dirt and like cloth rags, and then you put on high-tech military spacesuit or whatever the fuck. And it's like, but you're still talking and walking and maybe doing combat and doing Bethesda things. And I'm like,
right, yeah, exactly.
You guys paid for this shit when Monster Hunter World is on sale and you just play that instead? You guys paid for this shit when Nier Automata exists?
Thankfully, I got it with Game Pass. So, again, I just lost some of my time as opposed to my money.
Yep.
But it's that's the thing. It's like the gameplay loop works for Skyrim, but it doesn't work in Starfield. And even worse is that obviously they the thing that really annoys me is that they made fast travel a primary method of traversal, which doesn't make sense. Like, you want people to explore the worlds you created.
Yeah,
okay?
like
that's why. fast travel is only there because as an option, right?
Mhm.
To quickly get across the map. It is not meant to be a definitive way of getting around. Okay, like any game.
When you build like a game like this, it's like, isn't the world like a character in and of itself, and you're telling
Yeah,
people to skip
exactly.
over that shit? Like,
But that's the
come
thing.
on.
There are no there is no character in the world, right? Like Skyrim, the Skyrim like setting was its own character, right? Oh, talk about any other open world game. Like Grand Theft Auto, obviously, is a great example, or the Yakuza series, right? The locations that they're set in are just as important to the characterization as the gameplay and the characters, right? But in Starfield, the you just land somewhere and it looks exactly like the last place you went to. Maybe the color palette is a little bit different,
You
and
go place and do thing, but like in the most like accurate to the reductive description
yeah,
as
exactly.
possible.
Yeah.
Like,
You go place, do thing, and the place just looks, barren as all shit.
I paid
And
money for this.
again, like, yeah. People. I mean, there are people who paid money for Starfield, and it's like they must be so disappointed. Like I'd be disappointed, And it's like, and the game, and to me, that didn't make the game fun at all. Because it's like, what am I actually doing in this in this thing? Like, am I just teleporting around the universe? I, like I would much rather be playing Grand Theft Auto, which has a much smaller world for sure, but it's definitely a lot more detailed.
Yeah, like I mean, if I wanted to go place and do thing, there I can do that, and I can get paid for it. It's called work,
It's yeah, exactly,
and I
exactly,
work from
yeah.
home, so it's fast travel. So like, I don't know what you want from me. I'm making more money than if I played Starfield, which is a net negative on my life, health, and happiness. So like, but okay, here's the thing, right?
Sure.
Two points. Like one, I keep seeing all these mainstream games, and I'm like, you guys know there are more AAA games out there than just like Western first party studios.
Oh yeah, of course, of course.
And yeah, I mean, you mentioned like some of the first party stuff, and I'm just like, yeah, I mean, those are the most common. But then like all the game discussion as a whole is like, you guys are sleeping on so many good games. Like, you guys realize that the remaster of Nier Replicant like came out. If you haven't played, go play it. It's very good. Music is
Oh
top
yeah,
notch.
I'll play Automata. I need to finish Automata actually.
Automata is so good. Wait, finish how? How much have you seen of it? I don't want to say anything.
I mean, I haven't like finished the game. Like I haven't like gotten to an ending, if that's what you're saying.
All right. Okay. Yeah. No. I'm not going to say anything then. So
Okay.
you should probably go finish that after this podcast because it's top notch. Number two, there's a lot of the AAA space that's like, reviewers have already shown you guys that this is bad, and the problem is people take the reviewers that are like the most flip-floppity, wishy-washy dog shit motherfuckers, and I'm like, they're pick the reviewer that you align with the taste the most, and if they say it's good,
sure.
use that as a data point to decide whether it's worth your money or not. I mean, Donkey has a whole video, and watch me get canceled like on Twitter or whatever for liking Donkey. Oh no, I like the guy who said Octopath Traveler was bad, boo-hoo. But
he said Octopath Traveler was bad?
He didn't like it, and then the Octopath Traveler community rioted against him and made several videos
because he had an opinion.
Because he had an opinion.
It's great. Like, okay, look. I mean, look. He's entitled to his opinion, right? That's the whole point of like living in that's the whole point of free speech, right? Like, I enjoyed Octopath Traveler. Okay, I didn't finish it, but I enjoyed what I played. I did get kind of like bored a little bit because of the whole, turn-based gameplay. But I enjoyed it. I thought it was a good game.
Yeah, but see, it's a turn-based JRPG, right? And
yeah.
Donkey is self-professed he does not like turn-based JRPGs. The only one he likes of those is Undertale and Earthbound and Persona 5. And that's about it that I've heard from him. And like, I understand that. And then like the Octopath Traveler community comes out with like 17 videos where it's like, here's debunking Donkey, and in the same video say, I haven't watched the video yet. How have you not watched the video you claim to be debunking? But that's besides the point, right? Sure. Like, people should follow reviewers that are like actual human beings that like what they like. Like, I follow indie game reviewers and like people who like Metroidvanias and people who like, well, one of the guys I follow, I only followed because he liked Monster Hunter World, and then he liked Monster Hunter Rise, and I'm like, I think we have the same taste. So it's like these guys know, these guys have played the video game, and unless they're like sponsored or compromised or their family's been kidnapped or some shit, they're not gonna go out and say Starfield is good. Like,
yeah.
if they're
I
sane.
mean, it all boils down to it. Like I feel like what it is that we have too many cooks spoiling the broth in this situation, where like games are getting way too big and way too complex, and there are just way too many moving parts in these like massive game studios that are responsible for making these games, right? Then secondly, we have the issue where pretty much all games are now using very similar rendering engines like Unreal and so on, because obviously it's way easier to use an off-the-shelf rendering engine
You
than
don't
to
want to
create
make
your
that
own.
shit from scratch.
You don't want to make that from scratch. Yeah, exactly. So these games then start to look like each other in a way, right? Like, there's a point where I started playing this game, Cocoon. I'd say absolutely gorgeous
Yeah,
game.
I see you on Discord playing Cocoon, and I'm like, oh, I wonder what that is.
It's so good. It's a puzzle game, but not in like a traditional way. It's so good because the puzzles are like not. I wouldn't say they're hard or easy, but they just kind of like a flow to them. Like you kind of are led into the next solution. You work it out yourself, and
Forgive
you're like,
the Steam Deck noise. I'm just checking if Cocoon is available on Steam.
It should be. But Cocoon is made using Unity, and you can tell it's made using Unity. But so games are starting to look a lot like each other, especially in the AAA space, because it is just easier to use Unreal or whatever, right, than to do your own thing.
Oh yeah, found it.
You found it? Oh, great.
Oh yeah, no, it looks very much like a Unity game. It's got that Unity geometry.
Right, yeah, exactly.
Also, it came from the people who did Limbo and Inside, so I mean, it's kind of part of the studio style as well. But I get what you're saying. Yeah. Like, the engine influences the art style, and like if that's the art style of the studio, and a lot of studios have similar art styles because of similar engines, everything's gonna end up looking like
yeah. Yeah, and it's not an issue with indie games because they have their own little thing that makes them unique. Like Cocoon is going to be different to any other Unity game out there, but because of the scope and scale of these games now, and especially with how large these gaming corporations are, the ability to take risks is lessened, because now it's more about trying to turn a profit, right?
Actually,
and what turns a profit?
But like,
what turns a profit? Shooters, sports, and copying Fortnite.
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, I keep seeing like, so like when you turn on the Steam Deck, there's like trending amongst friends, and it's free to play shooter. Oh, okay. And then I look at it, it's just Fortnite. It's just first person Fortnite. It's just a battle royale, and of course, it doesn't work on Steam Deck because Epic anti-cheat or whatever EAC.
Yeah, of course.
No, it's not Epic anti-cheat. It's fucking, what's it called? Easy anti-cheat.
Easy.
Yeah, easy anti-cheat is just like, oh yeah, no, they're copying Fortnite again. But like, yeah, there's no risk. Like, they make this grand AAA thing, and then they don't realize, like, how do you know your idea is validated? How do you know people are going to like the thing that you make? Why don't you just make like a AA game first? And I mean this in the most absolute sincerest way possible. I want more AA games that take more risks, that are less time and less expensive, but are easier to make. I would gladly pay like I need to convert it into non-region adjusted prices. $40, $30 for exactly. Maybe 20, 30 hour experience. I'm fine with that.
That's it.
That's
fine. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. And it comes back to what I was saying about Forza and Gran Turismo. Both these games are to make a return on the investment, right? Because Forza Motorsport was in development for like 6 years or something, 6-7 years, and I think GT7 was in development for like a roughly similar amount of time, closer to a decade, right? So after all that time of building and making and stuff, you gotta create an experience that is designed to make money, and that means you don't take the risks that the earlier games did for the craft. And and it's like even in GT7's case, for example, they made the game with a kind of skill curve, well, with a gameplay curve that induced you to pay for microtransactions in a full price game. And to the point where GT7, the developers were like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna induce artificial scarcity in a video game by making cars sell out."
And it's they used to make games that put you in flow, and now they make games that put flow of money into their pocket. I don't know how to word that better. But
Yeah, I know exactly what you're saying. And then Gran Turismo is a perfect example, right? Because the earlier games they let you choose your own path, they let you choose your own flow and your own way of doing it, and that's why you plow hundreds of hours into these games. Whereas GT7 and Forza Motorsport as well, both of them have gone the path of basically trying to kind of corral you into a way of doing. So, for example, in GT7, you have the menu book system, which literally forces you to play the game in the way that the developers want you to, by essentially making you go through like a very linear campaign mode. In Motorsport 8, the game is a little bit more open, but you can only do one championship at a time instead of having multiple championships on a go. So you are kind of forced into going into choosing a championship and then going through that. And then there's not even that many championships, right? So you kind of like are left with doing nothing,
It's a theme park.
It's a theme park. Yeah, exactly. The games,
my God, I just realized.
That's such a brilliant analogy. Yeah, it's like a theme park.
Like, they're so averse to risk reward. They think their players are like that as well, so they want to handhold the players through everything.
Yes.
It's just like, wow.
I don't want a game that handholds me, And it's not like these guys aren't averse to it. Like I said, Motorsport 4 and GT4, they were both relatively open games that let you do what you wanted to do the way you wanted to do them, and that's why they're considered some of the best, if not the best, in the series. Fucking out in GT4, right? Okay, in Motorsport 4, okay, I got a Toyota Prius, right, and I put like a massive fucking engine in it, and I was toe-to-toe Ferraris in a Toyota Prius. Like that's like a level of unparalleled freedom right there. In Forza Motorsport 7, Forza Motorsport 8, I cannot. I mean, the Prius doesn't exist, but like I cannot just take like a shit box, dump a massive engine into it, and outpace Ferraris, because the game just doesn't let you have that freedom anymore.
They put the fun police in the game and then called it like a gameplay asset or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. It looks gorgeous, right? But it doesn't feel gorgeous.
I mean, I keep seeing it like, oh, here's a benchmark, and it's like Forza, and I'm like, this looks really cool. Is the game fun though?
Yeah, I mean, like, it's crazy. It's flawed fun, right? It is fun to be on the track. It is fun to play. But then when you get like the auxiliary stuff, like the championships, the mechanics, the weird kind of the feeling of the game is just missing a lot. And I feel like that's the same for many of the big budget AAA games that are being made, that they are so focused on maximizing their value to shareholders that it's no longer about creating a good experience.
Mm-hmm.
And like obviously, you can say, oh, what about indie games, or what about Japanese games? But yeah, of course those are going to be good experiences, but it's like it's like the same with films, right? Films that are made by big budget blockbusters are just samey bullshit, right? Go back 10, 15 years, and even there was a lot of diversity in big budget films. It's just now the budgets are even bigger than they ever were. And so because of that, there's less risk involved.
And yeah, that's the thing, right? There's less risk, and they don't understand that pumping more money but taking no risk does not make your reward great. I mean, it's risk reward balance for a reason, right? You take a risk and then you get a big reward. In this case, people are gonna really resonate with it, or maybe they're gonna hate it, but they're gonna have some reaction to it, right? And like it's kind of sad actually. The bigger the budget, the less risk they can take. But they
Yeah,
think that the more
yeah.
budget they can pump into whatever slop they're making, Grand Theft Modern Fare 25 million, like and like sell it to the lowest bidder. And it's like, ooh, look at this new game. What does it do? Nothing. Oh, at least it's on Game Pass. I mean, yeah. Also, I'm gonna say it's really funny. Gamer podcast, gamers on the podcast, and they're like, we're just talking about video games. Very appropriate.
Yeah.
It's the gamer effect, people.
It's the gamer effect. Yeah, yeah. And look, I love playing video games and stuff. Like I've had, my first console was a PS1, so I've been playing video games for all my entire life, and it's funny to see how video game as like an art form has become like like Microsoft and Ubisoft and EA and whatever. They're not video game companies, right? They're just companies now. They are just corporations that just happen to make video games, right? And making video games is a creative process, but the creativity just isn't there in that big. Like I said, Burnout Paradise and the Burnout series after Free to Paradise were made by EA. Criterion under EA. That's a AAA game, blockbuster, whatever, right? And completely novel, completely brilliant gameplay. So it's not like it can't happen that a big budget studio makes a good iconic video game. It's just that now the budgets are so big, the studios are so big, the companies are so big that the risk just isn't there anymore. What matters is making something that, because that's the thing, video games are no longer a kind of niche hobby anymore, right? It's a mainstream.
It's the biggest hobby in the fucking world.
It's the biggest hobby in the fucking world, right? Gaming was the only entertainment medium that didn't get fucked by the 2008 recession. Okay, and gaming, of course, was the only entertainment medium that didn't get fucked by the dip in pandemic related spending, right?
Mhm.
So gaming is a normie hobby now. Like, I mean, that sounds like gatekeeping or whatever, but like, come on, like the most popular video game on the planet isn't like Spider-Man or I don't know. It isn't Spider-Man, right? It's FIFA.
Spider-Man. It's fucking FIFA. It's
fucking FIFA. It's FIFA and
ball
Modern Warfare.
throw,
Right?
men, hot suit. What were we talking about again?
it's FIFA. It's FIFA, 2K Basketball, and Modern Warfare or Battlefield, right? Those are like the only four. Like those are the only like 4 video games that anyone plays. Okay, So why do anything different?
Honestly, I guarantee you, if you take that big budget that they have, slice it up into like 5 or 6 parts, make 5 or 6 double A games instead. 4 of those are gonna be hits.
Right, exactly.
And then they'd make more money off of that than on their single AAA Starfield.
Of course, yeah, of course. But I mean, why be creative when you can just do microtransactions?
Yeah.
The Fortnite method. But I mean, even the Fortnite method is failing. I mean, Epic laid off like something like a good 10th, I think, of their entire workforce.
They lay off 810 employees, and then Tim Sweeney says, we cannot support the Steam Deck because we do not have Linux programmers. My brother in Christ, you're the one who fired them. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, wait, I do know what you're talking about. You have a complex because Mr. Tim Sweeney is so salty that the Epic Game Store, who only had a functioning cart feature, the feature that is necessary on online shopping platforms because it came from, I don't know, real life shopping platforms, as in it is a physical device that you just need to make virtual. It didn't have a cart for like, I don't know, 6 to 7 months after its inception, and people had to buy their games one by fucking one. And he wonders why he's failing to bring in anyone into the Epic Game Store. When did you know that Kingdom Hearts 2 released on the PC, but the Epic Game Store is such an anti-mimetic device that nobody fucking knew that Kingdom Hearts 2 was out on the PC until it came to Steam. Nobody fucking knew that shit was on PC until it came to Steam. And now he's like, but I don't want to put Fortnite on the Steam store because Valve has a monopoly. Well, listen here. I'm glad that you're trying to compete. Just please keep failing at it so Valve can maintain their monopoly of it, right? Because at least they're doing something right.
Exactly.
I mean, I say this as a complete and utter Valve simp. I have a Steam Deck right here. It is the best thing in my life right now. That isn't like my family, my life, my hobbies. It's the best device that I have right now, and it's like, come on, man, get the program.
The Epic
you can't. You fired the program.
the Epic Game Store is funny. I mean, I just want to say something. So the thing that like everyone is trying to emulate Fortnite because Fortnite makes loads of money. But the thing is that Fortnite is now like not making loads of money. And what's interesting about that, of course, is that Fortnite has pivoted into these new game modes that they have, right? That people are talking about. Okay, and they're actually fresh and innovative and creative and whatever. And you think that the reason why that only has happened is because Fortnite has lost so much cash over the last year that they actually had to think of new ways of getting money in.
The creativity was forced.
The creativity was forced because they actually needed to find new ways of drawing people back in to get them to spend money, But back to the Epic Game Store. I mean, holy shit! What an awful like marketplace. I mean, it just absolutely sucks. You can't even change your profile picture. Okay, like that's how. Yeah. Like so like on Steam, obviously you can change your profile picture. On Xbox, you can do that too, right? But on Epic, despite the fact that you have a profile picture, which is just your initial. So for me, it's a Y. For you, it'd be a G. Okay. You cannot change it at all. You're just stuck with the letter.
Oh my God, that's so stupid.
There. And it's like, but every other platform that sells you video games lets you choose your profile picture. But I mean, the Game Store is just a mess in so many ways, right? Like, I can't even think of how bad. It's just bad. And Tim Sweeney is like all about, oh yeah, but we're doing the competition kind of thing. Yeah, but not really. I mean, look, Epic's like modus operandi on the PC side is to essentially use Epic's massive war chest to distort market forces in order to compete with Steam.
And that war chest is shrinking by the day. And that war chest is shrinking by the day. Keep giving shit out.
Because they keep giving shit out, right? But it's like, and it's not, and that's the thing. People are only using EGS because of the free games. Like, hey, that's why I'm using it, right? Only because of the free games. Okay, I don't actually use it because it's useful in any way to me. The store is laggy. Okay, it feels like it's worse than Electron in some ways. Yeah, it probably is on Electron.
They don't know the feature set that they want.
They don't know the feature they want in the Epic Game Store. They think that just by just pumping money into it, people will use it. But the thing is that Steam is useful. Steam is better in many ways because it has the features that it needs. It does no more than it needs to. It has a good catalog and so on and so forth. Even if Epic had the same catalog as the Steam store, it just does not work. It is laggy. It is broken in many places. It feels like it weighs down my computer every time I have to open it for any reason, And
I'm so glad I don't actually. I made like a pact with myself. Like, you're not doing anything with Epic. Like it's too much effort to get that shit on the Steam Deck.
I mean, it's funny because I reset my PC recently, and I just didn't install the Epic Game Store because I was like, well, I didn't actually use it before, so I'll just like not use it again. But the reason I had to reset it was because the OEM decided to partition the SSD into two drives, the boot drive and the storage drive.
Oh, great!
And then the boot drive got filled up, and I was like, yeah, man, this is awful, right? Like, because I can't offload like everything onto the storage drive. It's like, well,
I don't even think there's like a reason to.
There's no reason to do that because if it was a hard disk, right, then there would be a reason because obviously the
fragmentation. You want to keep all the parts for the boot drive in the same place.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
When it spins up, it's faster.
Yeah, exactly. But there's no need to do that for an SSD. It just like some sort of weird like. But anyway, so I reset my PC and I merged the two drives together. So now I have one big fat C drive that's 900 and whatever gigs because of how Windows does storage. I hate this, man. Like you buy a terabyte, okay, and then you go into settings like, this is like 930 gigabytes. And so, well,
We have
actually,
taken 70 gigabytes. Are you going to give them back?
yeah, it's like,
No.
where's the 70? It's like, well, actually, hard drive manufacturers use metric measurements for storage capacity. So 1 terabyte is 1,000 gigabytes. Okay, but then Windows uses binary measurements for hard drive. So 1 terabyte is 1024 gigabytes or something. So Anyway, that's that's like some sort of other mess or whatever. Back to whatever the fuck we were talking about. Oh my god, it's been 40 minutes. I still haven't actually asked you my first question. I think this is the longest time to first question ever so far. I think the
What do you mean? There was like a 1 hour thing that I mixed where it's like 1 hour until first question. I'm like, oh, okay.
No.
Maybe I should stop listening and maybe mix this.
No. I think the longest so far besides this episode was, I think, with Julia, and the time to first question was like 30 something minutes.
That probably was it.
Anyway,
but
so
I beat that record.
You beat that record by accident. So my first question to you, gamer at Bungle.online, is just tell me about your Fediverse history. Where you started, why did you join the Fediverse?
How NSFW can I get?
Yeah, go ahead. I don't really care.
So, like, I joined the Fediverse because I was on a whole website.
So, sorry, what? Okay. You were browsing. You were browsing for on a.
I was browsing an on a whole blog, reading reviews, because every time here's just the thing about me. Like, I like reading reviews before I buy things. That's just how it is. I mean, a lot of people are like that, and of course, and on a whole, I'm technically not allowed to import it into my country. So I want to make sure that if I buy something, it's gonna be fucking good. And this was when I was a broke ass college student. So, like, I was browsing it, and then I saw that, this guy has a video of him using it. Oh, he's cute. Does he have any socials? And then I see this Fediverse icon, and then I try and join it. I joined 3 instances because I didn't know that instances federated. I didn't know that was a thing.
Okay.
And then I just kind of dipped after that. and then I stumbled upon the blog again. I was like, I think I'm gonna try and get this Fedi stuff going, because on Twitter, at the same time, I think I was getting canceled on Twitter because I had some like very irrelevant opinion on local politics that got me canceled from my local university scene. So that was fun. We could talk about that later.
Yeah, of course.
I tried Fedi again, and then I am so sorry. I signed up to GameLiberty.com. Yeah, one of those like free speech instances, simply because I thought, these guys are free speech, so they'll have the least amount of blocks. Yeah. I didn't know that though, so I just kind of hung around there for a while, and then I made some friends, started making them, like, carving my space out in the network, right? And then somebody told me, you're in Mastodon, you should try like Pleroma or Miski. And then I was like, I tried out Pleroma. I have an account on Outer Heaven. I still have it, and that's my alt if ever Bungle goes down. But usually when Bungle goes down, I kind of just wait for it to come back, because I bug Weeble in the Discord, like, hey, the server's down. Did you miss the payment for the server again? Or, hey, the server's down. Did Sulo break the thingy again? And it's like, whatever. I'm not DevOps, so I don't know anything about server maintaining a server yet. But so I started on Outer Heaven. I went to Outer Heaven. It was pretty cool. Then somebody was like, I had a friend. I don't know if they're on the network anymore, but they were like, I think my friend's starting up a fandom leaning instance. You want to join? And so, like, I joined Bungle.online, and I've just been here ever since. Like, I became a mod because, like, let's be real, I'm like one of 2 people who use the website actively. It's actually really funny because people think me and Weeble are the same person.
Okay.
Like, no, I live on the exact opposite side of the world from Weeble. We live in exact opposite time zones. It's just that she's active when I'm not, and I'm active when she isn't. But, like, I'm just a mod. I'm not the admin. So, like, don't block me or whatever. Sometimes I even have, like, users. Some of the users just kind of left. They've made their own instances, but, like, I had a user who's like, hey, can you defederate from that? I'm like, I can't do that, my guy, but I can tell Weeble to do that. so it's okay, I guess. But yeah, and I still get people thinking that I run Bungle Online, and they come up to me. It's like, Bungle Online federates with Jiggle Biggle Dodongus Wonger Bingus, and I'm like, yes, we do. But you shouldn't be going to me, but I will forward your concerns. I'm just a receptionist. I'm just kind of
you're
here.
a front desk. Yeah, I mean, just for a little while, I did thought you were. I assumed that you were like the only person on Bungo.online. So it wasn't only until you mentioned your moderator, like a few. Like, I mean, when we started becoming friends, like I think you mentioned your admin like a few weeks in. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So this guy just is there is someone else, at least two
Yeah, I
people.
just exist here. I don't run the play.
You're just like a freeloader on Bungo.online.
I will say I would agree with that, but I have actually contributed money, so I'm no longer a
Oh,
freeloader.
that's nice. That's great.
Bada
Yeah,
boom.
yeah. See, there you go.
And
Always
now
support
that
your.
I am earning, I can actually give more money to help out with the server.
Aw.
Thankfully,
Always support your server administrators, guys. They do a lot
yes,
for you.
DevOps is a hard job. I know because they make my job hard.
So wait, what does Bungo use? Is it one of the keys?
Misky, just plain old Misky.
Just plain Misky?
We were on what was it, Firefish for a bit,
Ah.
but then like Weeble didn't like the mobile interface, and I mean I defer to her for all of that stuff. I mean I just get used to the interface after a while, so it's fine, right? And the thing about me is like I'm very interested in the Misky dramas. I'm always on the side of Firefish. I'm sorry, cancel me. Whatever. I like Firefish, right? I don't like Ice Shrimp. I don't like how it's just a hate fork of Firefish.
Man.
I don't like Ice Shrimp. It's a hate fork of Firefish. Too much drama about how like Firefish is becoming corporate, but then like it's not really corporate. They just have like let them do branding. Branding is fun, okay? Marketing is fun. Like making the little videos, that's fun. I get that you hate capitalism, but like we can separate the activities. They're not selling out to anyone, and they're like, no, Ice Shrimp. And I was just really interested in that, right? And then like Weeble's like, I really don't give a shit. We're using Misky, and I'm like, all right.
Okay.
And that is the one thing that keeps Bungle out of any drama. The biggest drama we've had was like the whole Fetty Tips debacle, but that was just because people couldn't read the bio. That's really it. All of our dramas are really simple misunderstandings that blow up, and like we try to clear it up, but people just continue to do the misunderstanding. I'm like, cool. Yeah, we're just kind of here.
Just kind of here. So you have on your profile, you have the gamer manifesto.
Oh my god!
Do you mind elaborating on that for our audience?
Oh my god! Let me like pull that.
This is also something because obviously Bungle is because the thing about having you on the podcast is that you and I are pretty decent friends, but like no one actually knows who the fuck you are.
Yeah, no,
it's fun. Like I mean, it's like me and Gamer. I would say we're pretty good friends. But no one knows who the fuck you are. Like you have like the fewest comments of questions of anyone so far. Like
yeah, I completely expect that because I craft my presence so that I am both like I am a beacon that goes out sometimes. That is me. Like you can try and orbit me, and I am close to like a few people, but as soon as you try and like, I mean, I don't want to make it sound like negative or anything, but it's just like I am here. I follow people that I like. I post things that I post. If you like me, then yeah, sure. I'll interact with you. Yeah, sure. But it's all very chill. It's like very low stakes.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's fair enough, man.
So I'm not very like I don't have the intensity. I just have the width.
Right. Yeah, and that's fair enough, man. That's the beauty of Fediverse. You can.
But the Gamer Manifesto.
Yes, back to the Gamer Manifesto. Yes. So please do tell us about the Gamer Manifesto.
In my second year of college, I had a crisis of faith.
Okay.
We'll start there, right? I took an ethics class, which sent me down a YouTube recommendation rabbit hole of Stoicism. So I was on that for a while.
Okay.
And then Stoicism stopped working. But then I read about how it started, and they were like, the Stoics just stole a lot of their doctrine, because like back in ancient Greece, philosophy was a business,
Yeah.
and it teaching philosophy was lucrative, and if
Yep.
you could teach good lessons, people will pay you. So what the Stoics did, they just took shit from other schools and synthesized that, and now it's their shit, and now it really works. And it worked so well, it carried on into the modern day, and now tech bros are using it to justify suffering at the hands of their tech bosses, but that's neither here nor there. But the Gamer Manifesto is a response to my crisis of faith, my my wavering in stoicism, various things in my life, and the fact that being a gamer is kind of a big part of my identity, like it or not. I'm going to tell you guys right now, if you think it's a shit post, again, my response is it's half a shit post. I wrote it like a shit post, but I actually truly believe in it. Like, whatever, sue me. But yeah, gaming is the act of ordering your consciousness. And I stole this line from Dan Coe. Don't ever look him up. He's one of those scummy marketer types, but I really like his prose. So, gaming is the act of ordering your consciousness around specific limits in order to achieve specific goals. Remove the gaming part. That's just what you're supposed to do in life. You order your mind, you focus your thoughts on what do you need to do to get what you want to happen. Like, remove the hustle culture, remove the capitalism mindset from it. Like, in day-to-day life, get out of bed. What do you need to do? What do you want to happen? I want to get fed. What do you need to do? Make breakfast. Bada bing, bada boom, you're gaming, right? Like, going further, if you I'm not saying like use gaming as a complete metaphor for life, because it falls apart in so many different ways.
Yeah,
I mean, reality is too complex for any one game that isn't life or reality itself to encompass, right? But elements of gaming can be adopted in order to give you a framework to think about how you're supposed to live your life.
Right.
So when I said you make a build, acquire skills to apply to quests or projects, and then those quests or projects drive the game life forward. And I'm stealing this. I'm not only stealing the prose, but I'm also stealing the cadence and method of delivery of Dan Coe. So sue me. But that is it's sincere. You make a build. What are you good at? What skills are you good at? What can you turn into value, maybe valuable to yourself, value for other people, aka a job? Like, what can you do that allows that? What can you do to gain value, and what can you use that value on that makes you happy?
Yep.
Right? Makes you appreciate life. For some people, it's their hobbies. For some people, it's their family. For me, I make money so that I can do projects, but I also invest in my friends. I'm gonna try and not use capitalist language. I put time and energy into my friends and my relationships. I put time and energy into the games that I enjoy. I put time and energy into my body so that I can build my strength. I put time and energy into my sleep so I don't wake up groggy and bad in the morning. I put time and energy into gaining more skills because it's just fun, right? And then like the rest of the manifesto is basically what I personally believe. If you are willing to steal all the concepts and break those concepts down to integrate them into your own life philosophy, your own build in order to live better, then more power to you. You want to steal an idea from communism? Go ahead. You want to steal an idea from capitalism? Go ahead. You want to steal an idea from my personal favorite economic system, creative mode Minecraft style hermitcraft economics? Go ahead. Why not? Trade diamonds for kelp. I mean, I do that. If you ever play Minecraft with me, I will. My goal in Minecraft is always material domination through kelp. So be warned. But that's neither here nor there. But yeah, that's the Gamer Manifesto. And you might think it's a shitpost, but it is a shitpost. And it's also sincere. I hope it's not offensive in any way that, yeah, you're supposed to treat life as a game, in that you're supposed to order your consciousness and you're supposed to focus on what to do. I get that some people cannot focus. That's fine. You got to work with what you got. You got to play with the build that you got, because it's the only build you got.
Yep,
you know?
Exactly.
But that's basically the Gamer Manifesto. It's
Well,
also a response to that stupid ass fucking techno optimist manifesto. Fuck that thing. I read that shit and it's like, oh, venture capitalist complains that nobody wants to, like, they're getting regulated and they can't make money off of things that make the world worse anymore. Like, ooh, boo hoo. Like, fuck your manifesto. I'm writing my own and it's 10 times better.
I mean, that sounds that sounds incredible. Apologies, by the way, to anyone who's listening. My nose is kind of bunged up at the moment. I was a little bit sick.
You and me both.
I was a little bit sick for the last week. I disappeared. Everyone thought I was dead because I didn't post for like a couple of days. That was kind of crazy to come back and realize. And I was like, "Oh yeah, Yaseen is never coming back." Guys.
I mean, this kind of happened before. You should have expected it.
Yeah, I really should have expected it like the second time around. Last time around it happened. It was definitely a surprise to come back to
I mean,
that.
if you do it for 3 times, you're already like 3 times better than Jesus, who only did it once. So
That's true. That's true. Yeah. I mean, to us, like, you know, it would be much more helpful if everyone like did like a good vibe session so that I feel better. I think that would help next time. To be honest, if I get sick again, for everyone to do.
There's your PSA, guys. Don't start panicking, saying, yes, he's dead. You gotta pray. I mean, look, the standard around the world for resurrection is 3 days, so it's gonna take some time.
Yeah, exactly. What?
What do you mean, what? You say what as if you don't know what I'm talking about.
3 days? Wait, like Jesus?
Maybe. Anyway.
Okay. Sure, whatever. So, I mean, one of the things that is pertinent as of the time of this recording, I mean, it's probably going to be pertinent at the time of issue anyway, but is the recent controversy, shall we say, around the entrance of Threads by Instagram, by Meta, into the Fediverse. I just want to get your take on that.
No. Basically, no. Like,
No. Yep.
I mean, the beauty of federations, you could federate whoever the fuck you want, right? But
Yep.
I think it would be in everyone's best interest to just not let threads in. We've seen this shit before. We've seen what they want to do.
Yep.
I basically I basically agree with the majority opinion, at least the majority in my circle, where just defederate from threads. Nothing good can come from this. If you want to follow your favorite celebrity, open an RSS feed. I mean, they're using ActivityPub anyway.
Yep. Yeah, my take is pretty similar to yours. I mean the thing is that we have this kind of section of the Fediverse, primarily on the larger instances, that kind of wants to give Zuck a pass in terms of federation. On a service level, their points make sense. But when you kind of break it down a little bit deeper, actually, like, why? You know, the whole point of the Fediverse is to be free of corporate influence and corporate control, right? Now, as far as I know, Zuck is not actually pushing commits and so on to ActivityPub, to the Mastodon API or whatever, right? They're just solely interested in just federating as it is. But Zuck, like, Facebook is, like, I think the 4th largest tech company in the entire world, okay? You cannot coalition with that kind of group without sacrificing something in return.
Yeah, it's not happening. I mean, I have to fucking... Facebook is foundational and like infrastructural in my country, and I fucking hate it.
Yeah, same here too.
You cannot use that shit without giving up something. And you can only hope to contain it. And a decentralized network of admins of Fediverse instances, you really think they can contain something like Facebook?
Right.
Better to never let it in.
Exactly. Yeah. And look, the like you said, the beauty of federation is that you can defederate from whoever you want, right? And that includes Facebook itself. Okay. But the real issue to me, I think, is with those instances that don't choose to defederate. And those are gonna be places like Mastodon.social, right?
Yeah.
And you know, Mastodon.social is the largest like ActivityPub based instance, like in totality, I think. Well, actually, no. I think Pawu is bigger, but let's not talk about that. Let's
Let
not.
the Japanese do their own thing. They have their own culture. They have their own stances on that.
Yeah, let's let them do their thing. But as far as we're concerned, masculine sexual is the biggest, or at least one of the biggest, right? And that gives
Yep.
them an outsized amount of kind of control over the general kind of Fediverse direction. And for Threads to join would be masculine social, but like 10 times bigger. Now, the guy who runs Threads has very clearly stated many times over that the Federation will be opt-in and it'll only be for those accounts who are public. Okay, so already that is going to be a very, very small chunk of users who will actually give enough of a shit to flick the switch that lets them federate with the Fediverse. That can change, right? Like that could change to be opt-out, for example, or whatever. And it's not like people are assuming that Facebook is coming into this with honest and open intention. Now, look, Facebook has a track record of investing in open source projects and supporting open source projects and so on and so forth. Now, that's like fine, okay. Microsoft does the same thing too, but a corporation does not invest into these ventures without getting something out of it. Okay, like let's take a completely different example. Okay, which is OpenStreetMaps. Now, OpenStreetMaps is the biggest source of open source street maps on this planet, right?
Mhm.
They are superior to the traditional mapping software in terms of being maps. In terms of other stuff like navigation and discoverability, perhaps not so much. But as pure mapping software, nothing beats. The only thing that beats OpenStreetMap, in my opinion, is an actual paper map. Okay, and this is coming from someone who who has orienteering skills. OSM is almost as good as the paper map, in my opinion. Now,
Mm.
OSM has a lot of investment from automotive companies, and of course from people like Microsoft and Google, not Google, Microsoft and so on, right? Because well, yeah, sure, it's nice of them to support open source software like that, but the reality is that they're not doing it because of the goodness of their own heart. They want to put their corporate influence into OpenStreetMaps to make it work for their needs, which is mapping, right? In-car entertainment stuff, satellites, whatever. I don't know. I don't care. And the Fediverse could really end up like that. It won't necessarily. The culture necessarily might not change. The way the Fediverse is structured may not change, but
It's gonna come slow.
It's gonna come
We're
slow.
not gonna feel it
Yep.
until it's too late.
Exactly.
And if you want to be the boiling frog, and I'm talking to you, John Mastodon. If you want to be the frog in the boiling pot that doesn't know it's being cooked until it's too late, fine by me. But I would rather be the one eating the stew, or the one at a different restaurant. So pick.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's like, I mean, look, my like I said, my projection will be that Threads will not change the fundamentals of the Fediverse, but they will be there like a fawn, fly, whatever metaphor you want to use.
Miasma.
Yeah, they're like asthma. Wait, asthma?
Miasma.
Oh, like miasma. Okay, yeah. Okay,
like a cloud.
Like a cloud of miasma.
poison.
Yeah, that's a good. Yeah. There'll be like a miasma on Fedi, like when you get poison damage in a video game.
Yep.
That's
it's ticking.
Ticking. Yeah.
It's ticking. But it doesn't hurt now. But soon you're gonna be at 1 HP, and it's like doo-doo, doo-doo, doo-doo.
Yep. Exactly.
Do you really want to be that?
Yep. So yeah, exactly.
I'll be gone.
The solution is to defederate from Threads as soon as possible, or federate with them, but only to bully them. Which honestly, I'm totally in favor of. I mean, what are they going to do? Like report me to who? My
Your instance admin.
Like what?
I guess.
Like what's Autumn gonna do? Right? She's not gonna ban me because I was myself.
Yeah. Also, if Autumn bans you, that will be like a canon event for the whole of, at least for this circle of Fedi.
Yeah, I mean, look,
it's never gonna happen.
It's never gonna happen, right? Because I know where the line is. Okay, and if Autumn ever has an issue with stuff I've said, she will most likely tell me. all that kind of stuff. But
It's
I mean,
almost like smaller instances can talk to their users and actually get to know them on
no
like
way,
a
crazy
personal
shit.
level, and like
What do
things
you
can
mean
be
I can
solved like
establish a report
humans.
with my admin and talk about things as they like? Look, there was a thing a long time ago where Autumn was like, look, guys, can you not like do this thing? And I was like, okay, sure. Autumn says, sorry, not Autumn, sorry. Back when I was on Snowden, for example, our admin said, look, guys, can you not do this thing? I was like, okay, well, you know what? That's fair enough. I will not do this thing because I support you in whatever you do, right?
Yeah,
If Zuck says don't do this thing, who am I to give a fuck, right?
it's like, what do you want from me, Mister Zuckuloid? You already have the world as your oyster.
But I love how, by the way, that Facebook is a privacy sucking behemoth, whereas Mister Zuck has basically owns like half an entire Hawaiian island. Not because he bought the island, but basically he bought like a property or whatever, and he bought all the surrounding properties and then built like a compound essentially.
He's
Crazy.
he's playing Rust in real life. I'm sorry, the video game. The video game
reference.
cannot. That's why I'm gamer. But yeah, he wants all this privacy. He
Yep.
buys a whole compound just to get it, and then he takes it from all of us. And you think that's not going to happen to the Fediverse?
Exactly. I think that's basically summarizes it. Like we are Gargaron and so on are trying to coalition with a guy who has a fucking compound on stolen Hawaiian land.
They trust verbal agreements way too much.
Yeah, like I think that's what it is. It's like I think it's a kind of like open source naivety in a way, like in that like everyone is kind of like obviously there's conflicts and there's egos and open source whatever. I don't really care, but like the whole point of open source software is collaboration, right? So you kind of assume that everyone else is at least on the same kind of idea strand as you, and I think there is some kind of naivety in expecting Zuck to respect open source collaboration and respect the culture that the Fediverse has. These guys on Threads are Instagrammers, okay? Threads is an Instagram product. It's not a separate thing entirely. You gotta have an Instagram account to use Threads, okay? So they're essentially bringing that algorithm charged like mindset into the Fediverse, which is completely incompatible, and like that's not even talking about the other bad stuff that Zuck has done, like accelerate the genocide in Myanmar, like
I could tell you all about what Zuck's done in my country.
Oh yeah, of course, and of course the Philippines too, right? Like Myanmar was of course the first in a long line of countries that Zuck has interfered with. And of course you can say as much as you want, but like the general basis that just like in Myanmar, Facebook launched in the Philippines with the Free Basics program, which basically zero rated access to Facebook and to other American brands and some news sites, and because it was free, people used Facebook as the de facto kind of internet. And so when everyone is on Facebook, everyone is on Facebook, and Facebook's algorithms are geared towards spreading misinformation. So in the case of Myanmar, of course, that meant that the military and of course local groups could spread misinformation about the Rohingya minority group and start some ethnic cleansing. In Gamer's case in the Philippines, this was used very cleverly.
The drug war.
As part of drug war, by President Duarte and his.
Okay, let me.
Yeah, if you want to take that, you want to take it.
Because here's the thing, right? When a country is so desperate for change, but the only information channel is fucking Facebook, people are gonna use that shit to interfere with everything. In my country, this is what happened. They found a strongman guy, some mayor in the southern part of the Philippines, whatever. They found him to be a good candidate. Maybe he makes a bid at being the president. Oh, he swears. How funny. Facebook amplifies that shit to 11, makes him actually desirable. Hell, even I fell for it. I'm not ashamed to admit that. I fell for it. I would have voted Duterte had I been voting age. Thank God I wasn't. He won by a landslide and proceeded to tank the economy, inflation is going crazy. The chickens are shrinking, and thousands are dead, basically.
Yeah.
But and that's like Facebook basically did what the CIA wishes they could do, or the CIA did through Facebook. I don't know, but hey, that was it was some disastrous shit, like nation toppling stuff.
Right. Exactly. And the
If
Philippines
we
was
were
on
a
a
weaker nation, we wouldn't be here anymore.
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah. And the Philippines was doing pretty well before this whole all this shit happened. And then Facebook, well, I mean, pretty well is kind of an understatement, at least. But it's
pretty
like
well is a very big overstatement, actually.
but like Facebook has Facebook very clearly has the ability to shape entire nation states if Zuck want to, just by a little switch of the algorithm,
Yep.
and that's why I would Cambridge Analytica, for example. Just that pure, just a little bit of intervention here and there, and suddenly Facebook is the perfect tool for sowing this information. And funny enough, actually, Facebook, despite the fact that Facebook was a misinformation machine for Brexit and, of course, the 2019 UK parliamentary elections, because the UK is such a hostile and already polarized press, it actually didn't make any difference. Of course, there was Russian interference or whatever, right? But the reality is that because the UK was already a fairly polarized country in terms of the press, it didn't actually make much of a difference. But yeah, Facebook just sucks, and it just does not make sense to me as to why why not we, but why the Fediverse is so open to the idea, and maybe maybe Gargran's and everyone else's idea is that by being friendly with Facebook, they will take out some of the poison, I suppose. Better to be working with Facebook than working against Facebook, right? But again, I certainly don't think that's a good way of doing it, because regardless of whether or not you collaborate with the enemy or not, they're still gonna fucking kill you.
Yeah, they're crossing the wires. So they're programmers just like us. Maybe they'll really respect open source. They know. They don't. Like, come on, guys. Let's not be naive. Let's try and protect the thing that we created. Or, well, if you want to get that bag, get that bag. But I will fight tooth and nail to make sure it's going to be a pain in the ass for you to get that bag.
I agree wholeheartedly with your assessment there. On to the next question.
Yeah?
Yeah, sure.
That went to some dark places. But
yeah, that was. But hey, that's what this whole episode is. That's what this show is all about. We go places. So the next thing I wrote on the list, which was so I wrote second brain on here.
Oh my god! Okay, let's go. Second brain.
I don't know what that means. I really wish I added some context.
Okay, so
do you know what that means?
Yes, and I have dedicated a lot of time into it. Okay, so let's start with the first brain, right? So the first brain is our brain, and the first brain is very good at what it's supposed to be doing. Okay. So evolution has dictated that the first brain is very good at pattern recognition, very good at idea creation, very good at yes, like a Mogus. Very good at maneuvering us in real life, but it's not very good at storing things. Now, like, tell me if you do this right, but do you usually place, like, for example, if you have a bag, you know that X thing is always in a specific spot. You don't have to think about it.
Yep.
It's always just there, right? Or, for example, in your kitchen, you know that the knives are here, the cutting board is here. I don't have to think about what to do. Or, like, if you're dealing with specific laundry, it's set up in such a way that I don't have to think about what to do. I just know that it's segregated. I'm going to do it, right? There is this concept where our environment can be used as an extension of our brain in terms of both behavior influence or forcing behaviors and storing information. And this is evident in our daily lives. I mean, the most literal information storage we have, I'm not going to go digital here, I'm going to go physical.
Okay.
Notebook. You put note into a notebook, and that is physical idea storage. It is quite literally an extension of your thoughts in space. Now, second brain is essentially a structured culmination of that concept where you take your ideas and you have a system that handles a lot of the stuff that you need to think about. Because, like, I think this quote comes from the GTD guy, Getting Things Done, productivity system. He says that the brain is good for having ideas but not storing them, and the second brain is basically the storage system. And it's not just like a single thing or application, but it's a collection of systems and behaviors that you follow that expand into storing data, storing behaviors, and being able to do the stuff that you want to do. Now, what the concrete example of this? When you get homework in school, because I know a lot of listeners might be younger, and that kind of horrifies me because, like, I'm old, man. But if you get on homework in school, in my school, they enforced a diary where you write things down, like homework and stuff like that.
I had that. I had that.
At the end. Yep. But other people, they just kind of have their own planners and systems. Those planners and systems are your second brain, because it stores that information that you have to do something, and then your system is you go back to it to refer what you need to do, and you do it. Now, in the modern era, this shit, thanks to Notion, has like exploded. It is a whole ass hobby now, and it's one of those hobbies that if you get into it, there's either two ways that this could end. One, you'll be the most productive person ever, or number two, you spend all your time customizing your Notion board and get nothing done. Either way is fine. I mean, like, it's a hobby, just enjoy yourself and like be responsible about it. But the way the Notion, like, having this essentially, I'm gonna say this, and it's gonna be controversial, souped up Microsoft Excel spreadsheet. That's all it is. People, don't try to make it anything different. But essentially having that, like a user-friendly spreadsheet that also reminds you about things that you need to remind you. You can create whatever in it. That was enough to like, maybe there is a way to take my personal responsibilities and structure them in a way that my computer can help me do them better, or my notebook can help me do them, my phone can make me do them better. That's the second brain stuff. Now, I got interested in this because I was interested in, I'm still am interested in productivity. Not for the super evil capitalist reasons, but just because I equate productivity with getting the stuff that matters to me done, and that doesn't have to be capitalistic. So let's don't sue me, please. Don't kill me. There we go. Not sue, because suing is for the weak. But right. So the second brain system helps you get more stuff done, and that it is just it's a very interesting concept. I really, really like it. And it ties in with the concept of knowledge management. Now, Yassi, you said you were a librarian. You might know a thing or two about knowledge management.
Right? Oh, yeah, that's right. I was a librarian for, nearly, I think just on 6-7 years.
7 years. And a lot of that is managing collections of knowledge, books, in systems that are pretty much standardized, right?
Yeah. So the Dewey Decimal System, for example, but obviously also we had our own like kind of local classifications, whatever. But standardized knowledge, standardized classification systems, knowing how to find it, all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm. Now, those concepts, right? There's things that you know and ways to find them. That got personalized. Personal knowledge management kind of boomed with the rise of Notion and like second brains, because second brains are also called personal knowledge PKMs, personal knowledge management systems. It's a mouthful. Just call them second brains. But essentially, everyone became their own little librarian. This is what I know. I'm going to make notes about it. And that's like the big thing that you see about second brains. I have this note-taking system, and I have these maps of content, or I have system A, system B, or system C. I have this super complex Microsoft Connect system where if I wave my hand in a specific way, it color codes my tasks that are notes to do. Nobody actually has that. I stole that joke also. But, you get what I mean, right?
Yeah.
I'm kind of just rambling now, but I'm going to end this off with a very simple second brain system that anyone can use, really. Now, note that this system is meant to give you like flexibility. And the number one thing that I always do when I try to like stick to a new system is to build in forgiveness. If you don't follow it, that's fine.
Yeah.
No sweat, right? So if you go on YouTube and you search second brain systems, you're gonna see flowcharts that essentially rival Factorio playthroughs. We're not gonna do that. We only have three things. We have your calendar, you have your to-do app, and we have your like notebook or your note app of choice. I don't care what you use. You could use Apple Notes. I really do not give a shit. But essentially, if something comes up in your life, personal, professional, like vocational, I don't care what it is. If it's time based, you put it in your calendar.
Mhm.
If it's a task that you need to do, you put it in your to-do list. And then if it's like a interesting article, you save it in a trusted system. For me, I use Mozilla Pocket. Yes, I know. I actually use Mozilla's Pocket.
No way.
I don't think it's an annoying thing. I really like it. I have a bunch of articles saved in it, but like you can use Mozilla, like something like that, or you could copy paste the link to your notes app, or you can take notes on the articles that you read, the YouTube videos that you watch, or like posts. I have some posts on Fedi from in my note system because it really just resonated with me. And then that's a system that works because one, you're capturing everything. The thing about the brain is if you're trying to remember to do something, it's going to that's taking energy and you're looping. It's called an open loop, right? So say I tell you, Yassi, hey, remember like after this podcast, just like chop up the audio, send it to me. Remember, like in this part of the podcast, you need to cut this out. And if you don't write that down, you're just gonna keep repeating it in your head. Remember this part, remember this part, remember this part. That is an open loop. And you don't want that because that takes away brain power for other stuff that actually matters. And like to close open loops, which is a phrase that you're going to hear a lot if you get into the second brain stuff. To close an open loop, it's very simple. You write it down in a system that you trust. That's the key. Your system that you trust. You can't just write it down and forget about it. You got to write it down and then you got to trust yourself. Forgive yourself if you don't, but you got to trust yourself that you're going to come back to it. Like it's going to come back. You're going to remember that it exists somewhere and you're going to get it done. I mean, and that actually simplifies your life. I mean, hopefully everyone else like takes some advice from this. Like, yeah, you could just, I mean, it sounds basic, get a calendar, get a to-do, get a note, but like it helps a lot. Like, for example, me at work, oh, remember that you can use tests to help troubleshoot stuff. I have that in a note. I put that in my Obsidian. Oh, by the way, if y'all are looking for a notes app, Obsidian is pretty good. It's not open source, but it is local first. Don't use Notion. Please, dear God, don't use Notion.
You know,
if your internet goes out, your notes go bye-bye. I don't know what's worse. I mean, hell, I use a traveler's notebook, and I love this thing to death. And you guys can search it up. It's literally just a system where notebook refills go in and out of a leather-bound like cover. But I mean, I use this and Obsidian, and I trust that if internet goes out, my notes are on my PC. If the power goes out, I have my notebook. Shit's fine. I got it covered. But yeah, that's just second brain stuff. Tools to help you offload the stuff that your brain's not good at so that you have more freedom to think about the things that actually matter. And you have the freedom to not have to force yourself to behave in certain ways because the system makes you behave in certain ways that you want. You know?
That's fair enough. That's fair enough. Speaking of, was it Notion?
Notion, yeah.
I keep seeing adverts for that. And the adverts keep posting it as like, oh yeah, be like 25% more productive and like do more at work. And I'm like, why would I do more at work? You know, like why would I like? And it's like, oh yeah, do like it's like, you know, do 100 hours of work in like your regular like 40-hour work week. I mean, why would I do that? Like, who is this for? You know, like why would I do more work? You know, like maybe for like a freelancer, or maybe for like, you know, you're creative or whatever. Maybe it might be worth it for you. But like, it feels weird, like using it for work, that is. But like in like a general sense, like why would I do more work for my boss for
Yeah, see, that's why that's part of why I hate Notion. It's just like y'all are so wrapped up in this notion of productivity. Ha ha ha. Y'all are so wrapped up in this idea of productivity where if you do more, you hustle more, you grind more, you're gonna get more, you're gonna get rich, you're gonna stop, slow down, calm down. And it's like the product I try and pitch these systems, and for the product people who are like that, they think hustle grind, they just attach themselves. But for people who aren't like that, and I know vast majority of people in Fedi, they're very not, they don't like capitalism. I'm with you there. But I gotta play the game, and the rules are set. I play the game to break the game. That's what I do, gamer. But for people who aren't into that productivity stuff, it's not about doing more work. That's just the marketing buzz around it. Stuff like, I won't deny Notion is very good at what it does, but it's not about doing more work. It's about doing deeper work that matters to you. Or if you don't want it to do work, fine. Organize your life, organize your hobbies, your hyperfixations, put them all in there, and you can return to them at any time. It is a personal wiki. There's another way to think about it. And another term that you can search up. It is a personal wiki. It is a digital garden. You can also search up that term that you control, and you can lovingly curate whatever you want in there. Like, that is what it is for. You can hoard information. Sure, fine. I don't care. Go ahead. I wouldn't advise it, but like, yeah. And when I make Fedi posts, I look in my Obsidian folder, my Obsidian vault. It's called a vault, but really it's just a folder. I look in the folder sometimes for good ideas. Every time I see that one note where it says, she F on my art till I fart, and I'm like, why are you?
She F on my art till I fart. Oh my
God. I posted it and it got likes, but like, but like, going back to the like doing more, that's just a marketing thing. It's just free your mind to do what matters, essentially. And if y'all want like further listening, reading on this, the foremost thinker in this so-called slow productivity idea, where you're not trying to do more and you're trying to grind more, you're just trying to do stuff that matters, Cal Newport. You might know him from Deep Work or So Good They Can't Ignore You, or maybe you've read one of his like books on how to get good grades in school. I mean, they're very helpful, they're very useful. Recently, he's turned this ideas into more of a what if productivity but not hustle culture kind of deal. And what if productivity but not making more money, but instead having a happier life? Because, I mean, his first book, So Good They Can't Ignore You, that was motivated by, how do I get a job that doesn't like crush my very soul? That was his question. And he learned that if you get good at something, the demonstration of that skill is enough to keep people passionate at their work. And then he turned that into, productivity is not just a thing to make money. It's not just a thing that work. Productivity is a work-life balance, or perhaps not work-life balance. You could just think of it as a way to live that does not rush you, that leaves time for the things that matter, and helps you find those things that matter, and then go deeply into those things that matter. But yeah, that's the whole second brain rant. People can like, for the YouTubers who are listening, all four of you, 3, 1, for one of you, you can take this, put some inspirational quotes on it, upload it as a short. I'll expect my check in the mail. Come on.
Thank you very much, Gamer. Shall we move on to the audience questions?
All right. Yeah, I keep seeing them, and I keep wanting to respond, but like, I'm saving for the podcast. Right. Let's do this.
Okay, let's do this. So we have 17 replies. So I think that's 17 questions.
I see 16. One of them's from Tech LGBT, isn't it?
Oh, okay. That's full it. So the first one is from me. I said, "Little do you." Okay, this is not a question. This is just a statement I made. Little do you know. I mean, this doesn't make any sense if you don't know what the actual statement says. Anyway, I wrote, "Little do you know," or now a lot you do know, I guess. The first actual question is from Piranha Advancements. That's Tomo at fedi.azumanga.k. Is your life like a video game, trying hard to beat the stage?
I think this is a I mean, yeah, Gamer Manifesto, but this is a reference to a song, and I cannot. I don't think I know the song. I'm sorry. I'm very clueless about. I'm very into music, but only my music, and I don't know what the song is. I'm sorry.
Let's see. Oh, it's Falling in Reverse.
I don't know what that is.
You don't know who Falling in Reverse are?
Yeah, no.
Okay,
I'm
so
sorry.
the song is Game Over by Falling in Reverse from their album Fashion Me Late. I think that's 2013, 2014. Actually, let me check.
Yeah, no. If it's like a mainstream
yeah, no, I mean
band, I probably don't.
Falling in Reverse. I don't think they're mainstream. They're kind of like they're kind of emo-ish, not emo-ish, but that kind of scene genre.
Yeah,
music.
That wasn't my scene.
It wasn't your scene. It was my scene. That's why I know. That's why I know the reference that Tomo is making. But the opening line is the lyrics are well, the first verse is, "My life is like a video game, trying hard to beat the stage, all while I am still collecting coins, trying hard to save the girl."
Oh wait, no, I think I've heard this before.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, huh. Next. I mean, it wasn't for me.
It was okay.
Here's the thing about okay, I'm gonna use this as a jumping off point. Like, here's the thing about me and like music. I hesitate to say any music is truly bad. There's only one genre of music I will say that is like objectively horrible, and I hate it. And if you like it, you should be ashamed of yourself. But that is like a singular exception, and it is just me. Everything else is just like, if you like it and it speaks to you, because music is essentially crystallized emotion. At least that's how I see it. If it resonates with you, it resonates with you, and who the hell am I to damper that, right?
Right, like, exactly.
Go rock on. Like, I don't care. If I don't like it, I'll put in my earbuds and listen to something else, but that shouldn't be an insult to anyone. It's just not my style. And even if I put on my earbuds at a live show, like for example, note that it is for hearing protection. Yes, it is not because I'm listening to something else. Those places get really loud.
Oh yeah, they do get loud. Yeah. They do get loud. Okay, that's fair enough. The next question is from Kata Kaban. I don't know if I Kata Cabin at wetdry.world. I love those guys. Wetdry.world. Good instance.
No. They're the instance I recommend to anyone who wants to get into Fedi.
Yeah, I mean, SM is a great administrator. He's a good guy. I like him a lot. Mm-hmm. If I was starting on Fedi again and I had to join a Mastodon instance, I would definitely join Wetdry.world. Those guys are like my people. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I'm very wet dry coded, or maybe wet
very
dry
lethal lava land build,
or maybe wet dry is like Yaseen coded. I have no idea. Perhaps that's it. But
maybe it's a symbiotic relationship.
Actually, apparently, I'm on the Explore tab for Wetdry.world. So if you sign up for that instance, I am like one of the recommended persons to follow. Which actually,
yet one more reason to recommend Wetdry World to your friends who aren't on Fedi yet. Which get exposed into Yaseen and Yaseenism. Be warned.
But I think I find that interesting. That kind of explains why so many people from Wetdry World are trying to follow me. Because I over like the past like a few weeks or whatever, like I seem to get like an influx of those people trying to follow me. I thought, okay, like I mean, I knew I was like a thing with these guys, but I didn't know like I was actually like something. And now it makes sense. I'm on the Explore page, so
yeah,
I exist there to be recommended, which is fine. I have no issues with being recommended to people as someone to follow. I think a few people have put me on like their follow Fridays or whatever.
Okay, I'm gonna try something funny.
Sure.
I have a feeling I'm also on their Explore tab because I also get a lot of Wetdry world like posts. I mean follow Rex, but I don't know. Oh, it's just man, it's only for posts that get a lot of traction. Everyone boost the funny post, please.
On Snowden, actually, I think I was on an a CSV that had lists of good people. It was a tech.lgbt list is CSV. I'm someone's CSV who was on tech.lgbt. Not that it was like a moderator thing or whatever, like a record list.
Oh God, yes, you're doing it with Gamer from Bungle Online, and I'm on the bad list for them, so it's over. I'm gonna sour the relationship between Yassi and the tech.lgbt people. I'm so sorry.
I mean, it's okay. I don't know, but they love me. Okay. Oh yes, back to the questions. Sorry.
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
So the next question is from Anna Asteroid. What flag is that? I can't.
No,
actually...
Katakapun.
Sorry. Yes, I'm so sorry. Yes. Katakabun. I'm so sorry, Katakabun. So Katakabun's question is: it's very cool, really, but what's the deal with the Gamer Manifesto anyway? Well, Gamer has already answered that question,
that already,
so that's fine. We can skip. The next question is from Anna Asteroid, who has the Republic of Grongo flag. Do you know what that is?
Yeah, I keep seeing that as like China. No, Republic of Guam. I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah, I had no idea what the hell a Republic of Grongo is.
It's probably something cool and based or something. It's Anna Asteroid, so you know.
Yeah, I like Anna Asteroid. I think Anna's. But yeah, so that's Anna_Ambrosia at oomphy.city. Do you have any advice for gamers just starting out?
Okay, Yassi's advice.
Yeah, my advice for gamers starting out is to pick a game that suits your play style and your timekeeping. You know, start with something that's popular. Put a couple of hours into it. Move on to something that's like your own taste. You know, like from my personal experience, for example, I played. I mean, we grew up quite poor, so I had to really be sure I liked a video game before I pestered my parents to buy it. And so it was. So my first video game I played was Gran Turismo, the first one, and I played the fuck out of that. Only because it was the only game that we had for a very, very long time.
Yeah, I know that feel.
It's weird now to think that I can buy any video game I want now. Like I just couldn't do that, you know. But yeah, just try and like get a feel for like the games you want to play, and you know, always branch out to different kind of styles of games. Like I like action games and open world games and racing games or whatever, but I'm also still a big fan of puzzle games and whatever. So that's my advice.
Yeah, I have two advices, one for gamers and one for Gamer Manifesto people. So for gamers, one, buy a Steam Deck and get into Steam. It is literally the cheapest way to get into the game if you're not going to pirate it. And then like explore widely. So basically what Yaseen said. So learn your tastes, explore widely, but also find reviewers and curators that share your tastes and then use them as advice for getting new games. Also, Steam has a very generous refund policy if you're just not having fun with the game. If you didn't put more than 2 hours into it, then, or like it hasn't been a week yet, you can get it refunded. No skin off their back. But that's for gaming. Also, yeah, do get a Steam Deck. It is so cheap for what it is, and the games on Steam go on sale regularly. Like, it is literally the best console. I am 100% biased. Fight me. It is the best console. But that's the gaming advice. If you're a gamer starting out and you read the Gamer Manifesto and you're going with the gaming analogy for life, see, the thing about life, the meta, the skill tree, it's not easy to respec. Let's be real here, right? If you have a skill set, you kind of you can learn new things, but it's not as simple as taking skill points from one and doing to another. You need time and effort. So what you need to do is you need to find what you're good at, and you need to like become really, really good at it. Some people call this niching down, but it's basically like for me, if I got good at computers because I broke a computer at 10 years old, so that became my career. That became my track in college. Became my career. I touch computers for a living to make money and all that. That's basically one of the surefire paths. And like you might think, well, what about following your passion? There is a whole book that following your passion just does not work if you want a satisfying career or a satisfying life. I mean, you can follow your passion in terms of hobbies. It's no problem. But if you want to make like a sustainable thing that like gains you value so you could do other things with your time, you gotta stick with what you're good at. I mean, for further reading, see Cal Newport's So Good They Can't Ignore You. That is the Gamer Manifesto additional reading number 1. So Good They Can't Ignore You. But yeah, there's the gamer advice, and then there's the Gamer Manifesto metaphor advice. So pick whichever one you want.
Well, there you go. That's gamer's hot take there. The next question is from Vivisector at outerheaven.club, your alt account place.
Oh, hey.
Her question to us is gaming. Yes.
So true.
Gaming.
so true.
Gaming. Next one is from Silly Guy. That is at tech.lgbt.
Oh yeah, I didn't see this one.
Thoughts on Greg Tech? Do you know what Greg Tech is?
Greg Tech.
I don't know what Greg Tech is.
Yeah, it's a mod pack for Minecraft. I know it's like one of those technology. See, like the thing about Minecraft and the mod packs is either it's like a fantasy. No, actually, either it's just a hodgepodge mod pack and you kind of play whatever you want, or it's very tech tree focused mod pack. I mean, it's essentially what inspired Factorio, right? And if you want to play Factorio Lite in the confines of Minecraft, like I think it's fine. I mean, I haven't played Greg Tech myself. I just don't have the time to sink. Well, it wasn't my thing to sink time into. I had the time, but I spent it elsewhere. It wasn't my thing. But I mean, if you really like the kind of tech tree style where it's like I build machine to do process to build bigger machine to do process to build bigger machine, that's satisfying in and of its own way. I mean, it's literally why farming is a thing for humans. So, I mean, they built machine to make food to make more machine. But like, yeah, Greg Tech is fine. I think it's one of the foundational Minecraft mod packs. So if it is one of those, if I'm not getting it mistaken for one of the other tech mod packs in Minecraft where you build machine to get process to do bigger machine, then like, yeah, it definitely deserves some respect for being one of the progenitors of that whole like gameplay style. But yeah, Greg Tech, good mod pack.
There we go.
I prefer Feed the Beast myself, but yeah.
Okay, next question is from Vivisector again. Why do you both follow me? Like, what's the deal?
I saw your post. I liked it. I followed the person who made the post. Bada bing, bada boom. That's literally everyone on my follow list.
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much the same. Like, I follow you, Vivi, because I like you. You're a good person. I enjoy talking to you and interacting with you. All that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You're one of my favorite sisters. So it's not a big deal to me. Like, you're a good person. I enjoy talking to you. That's pretty much it. Next question is also from Vivi. So this is like a 3 questions in one comment.
I'm reading the thing here.
Oh, okay. So, how did you two meet? That is a good question. Did you follow me back on Snowden, Gamer?
Before Snowden defederated for Bungle for whatever reason, I still don't know why. Before that happened, yeah. And you kept showing up on my timeline, and I'm like, this person keeps showing up on my timeline, and all their posts are bangers. I should probably follow this person. Basically that. And then, like, when you said you were starting a podcast, and the first few episodes came out, I kind of just approached you, right? And it was like, hey, I know how to make things. I know how to make things just a little bit better in terms of like audio engineering. If you need some help with that, just let me know. And that was kind of like, what if this person knows how to audio engineer? I look like a fool. But then, thankfully. I wasn't foolish, and how I got onto the Yascast. That's how I got the job, quote unquote. I just do it for fun to mix and master the Yascast, make it happen, make it as good as it could possibly be. Yeah,
that's pretty much it. I mean, me and you have been kind of mutuals for a little while, so it's not like it's. I really can't pinpoint it, but I think it's been at least it's noted. What's your favorite cheese? Ooh, good question. I am partial to feta. I do like a good feta cheese.
Lately,
cheddar I think is a standard like quality cheese to me.
Okay, I'm gonna be. Here's a thing. Here's a fun fact. The most common cheese in my country is not cheese; it's cheese product, and so. A lot of people in my country have no conception of cheese aside from like a craft single, right?
Plastic cheese.
We're not. Yeah, basically, that is the most common cheese. It is the thing that if you ask for cheese, that is what you're getting. And if y'all ever go to like a Jollibee and you get the spaghetti, one, it's going to be sweet, so I'm going to warn you now, it's an acquired taste. I really like it. Number two, the cheese is plastic cheese. That's just how it's traditionally made. But yeah, but I'm not going to say that's just context, right? For like why this cheese, why I don't really have a favorite cheese, because it's just not
they have
that
they have
common.
Jollibees here in the UK?
Yes, they're everywhere. I mean, they've been heavily expanding. But yeah, you should
Let me
try
see
it.
the
You should try it.
locations. The closest one to me is in. Oh, weird. They don't have that many here. The closest one to me is, let's see, they got one in Cardiff, one in London, one in Edinburgh, one in Glasgow, one in Leeds, one in Leicester, one in London again, one in Liverpool, one in Sheffield, one in Newcastle, one in Nottingham. So the closest one to me is in Nottingham. Okay, well that's kind of like too far away to go.
It's going to be a weekend trip to go and
I mean, I don't
try
know
it.
why I would go. I wouldn't. I mean, to us, like, I don't understand. Like, to me, there's really not much point in going to another city unless it's to visit someone in particular. Like, the only exception probably would be like London, I suppose. But I've been to London like many times. So it's like it's a big deal. I don't really want to go to London like by choice.
I mean, same, but yeah. If you're ever in the area, though,
yeah. I mean, I
tries.
would try. I mean, I think when I went to see Jess. Jess lives in Liverpool, by the way. So when I went to see her last time we went to Jollibee's, it was so good. The chicken was actually really good. They only had burgers at the time. So burgers and chips.
I'm gonna be real with you. The burgers in Jollibee not good.
Oh, not good.
People like the Yum Burger. I don't like it. I mean, you might like it. But what you're supposed to really try? Chicken, spaghetti, burger, steak. If they have it.
Yeah, the only
halo,
things
halo.
I mean, the only things they seem to serve. Let me check the menu actually. So, I mean, when this was like a couple of years ago. So the only thing they had were the chicken burgers. But according
no, the chicken burgers are good. I will
that's
say
what
that.
we had.
Chicken
We had
burgers
the
are good.
chicken. So right now they have like a whole menu. They have like rice bowls. They have chicken joy. That's just chicken. Tenders. Loaded fries.
We don't have tenders over here.
Here we go. The Jollibee classics. Burger, Yum Burger, Yum Burger, Yum Burger, Yum Burger. The Jolly Spaghetti.
Yeah, you're supposed that's kind of what they're known for. The spaghetti is sweet because Filipino spaghetti is sweet. We put condensed milk in the tomato sauce.
Interesting.
It's good. It's very good. You will.
And a
it's
Jolly hot
weird
dog
coming from Italian spaghetti, and we're weirded out by Italian spaghetti. We try it. Some of us try it, and they're like, "Why is this spoiled?" Because it's not sweet. It's sour. It's like, why is it spoiled? What did you do? But wait, that's beside.
They got the burger steak with rice.
Oh yeah,
well.
the burger steak's good. Okay, but the question was, what's your favorite cheese? Oh my god!
Yeah, right. That was
okay.
I hope Jollibee's does come down here because I would really like to try it again.
If they have halo halo, you should get halo halo. It's very good.
Okay.
But okay, the context for the cheese is plastic cheese is the most common. We do have one cheese here that's locally produced, and it's called quesong puti, literally white cheese. It comes from the milk of water buffalo. That's fine. It's fine. It's edible. Trust me. But it's not my favorite cheese. If I had to think, there's like a go-to that I do if I don't have the time to sit at a cafe, because I go to other cities just to like mall hop. I know we still have malls. They are infrastructural things over here. That is where the government payment processes are. It is the park. It is the third place. It's just how it is. If I go to other cities to like mall hop and shop around and just meet friends and stuff, if I don't have time to go to a cafe in the morning and chill out and play games on the Steam Deck, buy Steam Deck, what I do is I head to the grocery. I buy myself California Jack cheese, like a singular block, and I just munch on it like it was a sandwich. Okay. So there you go, California Jack cheese.
Cool. Wow. All right. The next question is from Vamp Kitten at mirror@froggy.town. What is your opinion on water? Yeah,
good.
I'm good with water. I love water. Foundation for all things good. What frequency do you vibrate on? I think I'm on the megahertz scale of frequencies.
I don't know what it is, but it makes me like too sweaty, so I want to stop.
Number 3, girls.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
Women.
Yeah.
Top peak.
Oh, to clarify the previous question, Colby Jack cheese. Because apparently there's another
Oh, right. Kobe Jack
version.
cheese. Okay. Cool.
California Colby Jack cheese.
Mm.
That's what I get.
Why are we made to suffer?
Why are we here? Just to suffer.
Suffering builds character, I suppose.
You gotta find a purpose in the suffering. Read the Stoics if you wanna get a handle on that. Or, fight against God and carve your own space. Life is a continuous cutting motion. Amber, I know you're listening, so you're gonna love that I say that.
Have you seen my rings? I put them somewhere around here.
Bestie, if you ran into the spike trap and you are surprised that your rings flew out of you like Sonic, I don't know what to tell you.
Question 6. How are you? We will discuss that on an episode. Both of us are kind of sick, but
Yeah.
I'm doing okay.
Recovering.
Yeah. The next question is from the iconic and very based Lizzie at brain.worm.pink. Gamer is cool. I agree. Gamer is a cool person. Do you know Lizzie?
Yeah, I agree too. Ego.
do you know Lizzie, Gamer?
Yeah, I feel like one, we're mutual. I think we're mutuals. Yeah, we're mutuals. But okay. I'm so sorry if you tell me like to pinpoint any specific person. If I see their profile picture, I'll know who they are unless they change it. But I'm not really that close with a lot of people, so
Okay.
I'm sorry. But you guys can get closer to me. Just shoot me a DM on Fedi or on like Discord. It's my main thing. I'm sorry, sue me.
I like to ask Gamer to explain what it means to be a gamer. I mean, I think you've already explained that. Yeah, you've explained that. Yeah. How did the gamer thing get started? That's also from Lizzie.
Okay, so it's time for the college cancellation lore.
Oh yeah, so, that's right.
In college, I joined this like student organization, and they purported to be about music, but I mean, they kind of were about music, but I'm an electronic musician. That's like, That's not, it's for them because they're very much a perform live, do like gigs in front of people, like get money. And I'm like, that's just not my thing. I don't perform live, but they forced me to join the student org. And it's only my college, it's only my university that has this culture where essentially you haze people to get them to join your organization. It's not just like a submit your application, you're in type deep. You have to go through a semester-long application process. Afterwards, there is a interview in blistering heat, and then there is a hazing. I call it hazing because that's what it is. You can't tell me that you shoved me into like freezing cold water after a night of sleep deprivation and not call it hazing. Trust me. And then it turns out they were smuggling marijuana during the drug war era under Duterte, where even a sniff of marijuana would get you shot on the street. And all throughout that time, my Twitter handle was Pogulent Gamer because I hyperfixated on the haha Fortnite funny battle pass haha funny. I've never played Fortnite, but yeah, it's that. And then when I shifted over to Fedi, I didn't have the gamer handle on Game Liberty because they're kind of baked in. But then when I was on Outer Heaven, I believe I was still a gamer, or might have been Pogulent Gamer. And then I might have had a few Fedi identities between then and now. And then when I was on Bungle, I just kind of scooped up Gamer, and that's where we are. My old Pogulent Gamer Twitter account is dead because I got cancelled for one, having an opinion that maybe instead of going so hard against the government that you're burning yourself out both academically and social relationshiply, maybe you should handle what you're doing first before spending other energy into the like protests and rallies. I mean, right now I support it, but like you need to be responsible about it. And that take got me cancelled off Twitter in the local scene of Twitter that I was in, which was the music org scene. And two, speaking out about the fucking marijuana smuggling, they didn't like that. And I think they still send death threats to all my old accounts sometimes. So fun.
What the fuck?
But
wow.
Yeah, that's the gamer thing.
That's the gamer thing.
And it's part of my identity, basically. Thanks, Dad, for getting me Pokemon Ruby and a Game Boy Advance SP at 10 years old. He did not know what he was getting himself into.
That's fantastic.
He did not know what he started.
So next one is from Stella at MK.
Oh, Stellar.
How the fuck do I pronounce this?
Absurstaub.
Yeah, sure.
Absurstaub.
Yeah, sure. What's your favorite TF2 class and why?
I mean, Uncle Dane, NG main, haha. But yeah, it's the engineer. I do play most. I used to play soldier a lot, but yeah. Like ever since watching Uncle Dane, basically brainwashed me, and like yeah, no, engineer is really fun because I only made this connection like relatively like a few years ago. Engineer is a summoner class.
Oh,
Think about it.
Yeah.
He summons he builds constructs. He summons them. And then he gives them resources. And then they do what he wants them to do. He's a beast master. He's a summoner. Right? And I really like summoners. I play summoner in Terraria. So engineer. And there is he's very much one of the support characters that makes or breaks a team, at least in TF2. And I really like those kinds of supports because it's like I have all this responsibility, but you'll be grovel. But like, if I slack off, you'll never see it, and if I redo really well, you'll never see it. So I'm just the force that makes or breaks your game experience. And I think it also reflects in other games too. Like in Warframe, I play support, quote unquote support, even though they could just solo the game by themselves.
Right.
I play quote unquote support Warframes, and in Terraria, there's a quote unquote support class. No, it is not. But yeah, engineer. Second favorite is spy because box taunt funny. Third is sniper but only with the piss gun.
Okay.
Yeah, do you know about the piss gun?
The piss gun?
How much do you know about TF2?
I played it like a few times.
You know about the Jarate mechanic from Sniper, right?
Okay, yeah.
So you know what the Jarate is? It's just piss in a jar, and he throws it at people, and when they get covered in piss, they want to die so much they start taking additional damage. That's the lore.
Wow,
that's why it works like that.
That's relatable.
But that I mean, yeah. But in Sniper has a sniper rifle that does not instantly kill you on a headshot. Instead, it explodes a cloud of piss that coats you and anyone nearby, and it has the same effect. And I really like that. I just think it's funny, but it's also a very good support tool. It's not like, I mean, in contrast to every other sniper rifle that just insta kills on headshot, and people hate it because the bot crisis. It's a whole thing. But yeah.
Interesting. Okay, cool.
Piss jars on the Yas cast. Let's go.
So next question is from Clover at acco.wtf. As a gamer, do you like smoothies? If yes, what kind? My favorite smoothie is anything kind of fruit flavored. I like mango and passion fruits flavored together.
Smoothies. It's been a while since I've had a smoothie. I mostly have milk tea as like my flavored sweet drink of choice.
Yeah,
some people might know it as boba tea, I guess. But like a smoothie, in my uni days, there was this very good mango graham smoothie, and it was really good. If it wasn't mango graham, I'd get the Oreo smoothie. I mean, it's cookies and cream, but it's basically Oreo smoothie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would.
You could also get like a ube smoothie. I really like ube.
Sounds good to me. And rank these from most to least favorite. Cat girls, dog girls, fox girls. My ranking is cat girls, fox girls, dog girls. What about yours?
You know how they're all on the same line? Yeah, we are not ranking these, my friend. They are all the same in my heart.
Sure. Yeah. Okay.
What do you mean, sure?
The question was to rank them, and you're like, oh yeah, I'm going to take the centrist way out and say they're all equal.
Okay, fine. They're
No, no,
all
you...
below gamer girls. How about that?
Okay, you know what? That's fair enough. That's fair enough. The next question is from Moshi Bar at ambrosia.mo. Please, I need to know what is the optimal gaming stance. Please discuss. Sitting down in a comfortable chair. I think that's optimal to me.
The one that oppresses the most minorities. No.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Yeah. The one that oppresses the most minorities and women.
Honestly, anything ergonomic, but if you're using gyro controls, yes. But yeah, that's the most optimal gaming stance.
Yeah, I mean, I hate women and minorities, so
As a gamer,
as a gamer, of course, that's the only a true gamer hates women and minorities.
what about men? They're not exempt from this.
Also, what do you all do to become such silly goobers? Exist, I think. Also trauma, but mostly exist.
Yeah, basically that plus Beyond Fetty.
Yeah, beyond fatty. Yeah, that kind of adds to the brain rot, the brain worms. Dot pink. That is. The next question is from. Do I have to read out?
Just use the first two names. Just use the first two names.
Okay,
Trust me on this.
good. Because I'm not gonna. I was not gonna read out all the names. So next question is from Vega Cassidy, which is at Amber X or Lucy at crimeu.gay. A question: do you think alchemy and gaming can be syncretized?
Absolutely. Here's the thing, right? Yassi, how much about alchemy do you know?
A fair amount, I suppose.
A fair amount. You know about the Monas Hieroglyphica?
No, I don't know.
So the Monas okay, like there was this idea in alchemy where if they could cast reality, if they could represent reality in symbols and manipulate that, they could manipulate reality. Essentially, like if I was able to describe, say, an apple in the correct language, and then I change my description in that language, the apple would change as well, right? That was kind of the idea in alchemy, and I'm probably getting this completely wrong, but this is what I know from watching Esoterica. The Monas Hieroglyphica was an attempt to create an all-encompassing symbol that, if manipulated, would manipulate reality because it itself was a representation of reality. Essentially, the description is the thing. And if I change the description, the thing changes in turn. That's what they were trying to get at. And they were so convinced that it was a matter of language. I think that's pretty much applicable to gaming. And that is, and I know Amber here is talking about gaming, both gaming, the gaming and my gaming, the manifesto gaming. Thing is, if you are able to put into language your behavior, both in game and in life, then you could modify that by one, you're aware of it already, and awareness already makes change happen. Number two, if you are aware of something and you change that description, you are able to more accurately describe why you do something, and then you can change that. You can begin to incorporate that into yourself. You're essentially alchemizing yourself. I sound like an absolute lunatic right now, but trust me on this, it actually works. For example, if you notice that you're not hydrating enough, describe that. I'm not hydrating enough. Why? What are the friction points? That's another buzzword. What are the minor annoyances stopping you from hydrating enough? Oh, I don't have cold water. Get an insulated bottle. Oh, I don't have it on me at all times. Have it on you at all times. Oh, I need to refill it with cold water constantly. Then you can start building a system to get ice, or maybe you can get an ice maker and then have some water from the tap if you're lucky enough to have that, like drinkable water from the tap. If not, then you like get like big water jugs, just put it in there. You are able to work through that problem by first describing it and then modifying that description, modifying the language. So yeah, if that's your alchemy, then you can alchemize yourself, and you can alchemize gaming too. I mean, it's how you improve in fighting games, for example. Yassi, how much do you know about fighting games?
Not much.
Not much. All right. So, essentially, in fighting games, it's a fighting games. Here's the biggest secret: it's a complex rock paper scissors, but that's basically all it is.
Sure.
It's rock paper scissors in who can press a button that moves first than the other person's button press, who can press a button or do an action that answers this person's button press. If you are able to describe what you're doing wrong and become aware of it, and then you can find the description of what to do right, and you can modify yourself. Essentially, you can teach yourself how to respond to a bad option in a fighting game, and then you just get better at the game. It's like alchemy. So there's your answer right there.
Interesting. Thank you very much. Okay. The next question is from next question is from mstar@warham.men. .men? Is that real? TOD? .men? Okay.
It would seem so.
I mean, obviously it's real because it's there, but like, obviously it's supposed to be like woman, as opposed to worm.men. Anyway, the question that Melody asks us is meow, meow, meow.
I am patting you. There you go.
Oh, thanks.
No, well, you too, but also the person who asked the question.
Okay, yeah, we should definitely pat Melody. Pat Melody, pat.
Also, have a follow. That's live.
Yeah, Melody is great. I like her. She's great. The next question is from @Jessica@kitsunes.club. You know what? I didn't realize. I realized, and only just now did I realize that it was kitsunes plural as opposed to kitsune singular.
Just the one kitsune.
Just kitsune.club. Yeah. Anyway, he's gaming on the mixer board.
Yeah. I game everywhere. Game on the mixer board, game off the mixer board.
True.
On the mixer board.
Next one is from Marceline, who is at Gento. No,
Gento. It's just the 1 O.
Oh, okay. Gento166 at fucking hell.
That place. The Abster style.
Abster, blah, 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 blah. Question.
It's a pigeon, I think, is what that means.
Oh, okay. Question. Would you like to teleport Brad? And if yes, where and why?
I have done nothing but teleport Brad for the last 3 days. That's my best soldier impression. I'm sorry. It's not good.
I have no reason to teleport Brad except to make that reference.
Yeah?
Yeah. There we go. And last but not least, of course, is from Elliot at ambrosia.mo. How, and most importantly, why? Good questions to which I can't give you an answer because they're just such good questions,
Expect my answer in 3 to 5 business years. So, yeah. I have to think about that one real quick.
Yeah. It's a
maybe if you follow me and I follow you back, we could probably work on the answer together. No?
Elliot is nice.
And they just followed me. Great.
Oh, good, nice. Good. Elliot is my twin, actually. Their old account. No, well. So on their old account, they had the same profile picture as me. It was very weird because I was like, "Hey, this person." I was like scrolling generally. I was like, "Wait, this person looks familiar. Wait a minute, that's my profile picture." The difference between his profile picture and mine was that his was desaturated and had like a vignette filter on it. But yeah, from that we're like, oh yeah, we're twins now. And then I guess Elliot moved to a different account on ambrosia.mo, and now here we are. So yeah, Elliot is my French twin from the Alps.
Unfortunately, French. Understand.
Unfortunately, yeah, of course. But that's all the questions that we have, and I mean that's all the time we have for this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like my reputation will be severely and irreparably damaged by this episode because now y'all know my weird beliefs.
I've exposed the gamer.
Gamer exposed. Women and minorities saved.
So thank you very much to Gamer for appearing on today's episode, which is episode 8. I really should have thought of like a snappy title, but I think 8 works only because next episode will be a It's like a thing, and it only works if today's episode is episode 8.
Is it going to be 8.1 or something? Uh-oh.
Well, thanks for spoiling it for everyone, gamer.
No, it's okay. I can quite literally edit this out of the episode.
No.
Except I won't cut out the part where I said I edited something out. So everyone's gonna have to wonder, what did gamer edit out?
I'm just gonna leave this in, gamer. Like, I'm just gonna leave this part in. Yes. So next episode will be episode 8.1. Because that's a funny episode number. Anyway, but yep. So today's episode is episode 8 with, of course, gamer. Thank you very much for being on here, gamer. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. And oh god, I just realized something.
What?
I gave this podcast name to my coworkers. They know I produced this, and now they know it's me.
Okay, that's your problem. But hi.
Yeah, it's my problem. Don't follow me if you just don't. Let's keep the separation. All right. Yeah.
You guys can follow me. You know what? This is again.
Follow Yaseen.
Again, this is like another episode where I forgot to include my handle in the introduction. Just I feel like there are people out there who listen to this podcast who don't follow me. Like I remember one time I saw 2 people discussing it, and neither of them followed me. I'm like, these guys don't even know who I am, and they're like, "Yeah, this is a great podcast. You should listen to it." It's like, what you reckon? I mean, fair enough, but like, listen to whatever you want, like And I hope those guys are
listening
doing well.
to the movie adaptation of your posts.
This is the audio. This is like the radio adaptation of my posts.
They got the audio book first before they got to the source material, and they don't want to read the manga or some shit.
But yeah, yep, I'm at Yassi_J at 0w0.is. So yep, thank you very much, gamer, for being on today's episode. This episode was.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. This episode was directed, produced, and edited and written. Nope. Again, I keep instinctively saying that I wrote this episode when I didn't.
I mean, you did. So.
Oh yes, of course. Every episode is scripted, right? Even this entire bit is scripted.
The whole of Fediverse is scripted by you.
Oh, okay. Is that the new Yaslo then? All episodes.
New Yaslo dropped.
New Yaslo dropped. All episodes. All the Fediverse is scripted by me. Yep. So this episode is directed, produced, and edited by me, and also hosted by me. Today's guest is gamer at bungie.online. This
Bungle,
episode,
not Bungie.
Sorry, Bungle. Today's guest is gamer at bungle.online. Gamer was also the one who will be mixing and mastering this episode. If you like to support this show,
episode.
If you'd like to, and every episode, yeah. If you'd like to support the show, there are Ko-fi and there's just a Ko-fi link. I think I just have the Ko-fi. It's just a Ko-fi. You can support you can support the show on Ko-fi.
Give money, please.
Please give money so I can keep making more episodes. Anyway, thank you very much. Good night from me, Yaseen,
and me, gamer.
The end.